Hello, folks. I am back and I want to talk about the customer service I received from Daniel Defense. And there is a backstory on that, on why I had to contact them. But let me just talk to you about this little thing right here. You see this right here, my suppressor, and it has that cover on there. You need to check out Big Johnson Guns and Gears video about suppressor covers. It's really interesting. So back to my topic here on Daniel Defense's customer service. I'm going to give you the backstory on that. My friend and coworker Kyle and we were on the range before we opened up for work, and he had multiple malfunctions on my DDM4 V7P. He had malfunctions and I had malfunctions. I've never had that experience before, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So later on, we found that the Law Tactical folder on this firearm was loose, and we couldn't figure out what the malfunctions were going on with that. So what had happened is right here inside this area here. Please bear with me. I'm trying to move this in the awkward position. See, there is a clip right there, or what they call a latch, and that latch had snapped. So as the firearm was reciprocating the bolt to go into the buffer tube. So the buffer tube would be in this area right here. And of course, everybody knows that the bolt carrier group is in this area right here. So with that latch broken, it was probably in a position where it could not close properly. So it was probably the buffer tube was being uh, hit by the bulk carrier group, or let's say the bulk carrier group was trying to come back and it was not going straight. So it was probably on a slight angle. So it wasn't as exaggerated as this angle that I'm showing you here, but I can't close it without latching it. But it was on an angle on a curve. So we're talking like this. So buffer two, bulk carrier groups have to come straight back to go hit the buffer to recycle that bolt again. So that's what happened there. So because of this part being broke back here on the latch, that was the issue. And when I contacted Daniel Defense regarding this, what they said was they didn't ask too many questions. They wanted to know what happened, and they said send the whole firearm in. I figured they were going to tell me they were going to send me another SB tactical tactical brace. What they did was they said no, just send it to straight to them. They had a label that they emailed me, and it took all of basically 5 minutes for them to do that. They told me to ship the whole thing back. So outside of that, I did have a split in this grip here. Now, most of everybody knows that the grip on the Daniel Defense firearms, they are rubberized right here. So I did mention that. So they emailed me back with a list of things that they replaced and or fixed. And I'm going to say basically replaced. Here are their notes. Their note says the Law Tactical folder was loose, causing a locking latch to break. And they replaced the Law Tactical folder as well as the pistol grip, and they replaced the buffer tube as well as the selector and rail screws on this. So they really pretty much did an inspection, checked it all out, replaced the buffer tube, replaced what the parts that they needed on here, and it's kind of what you would say somewhat of an upgrade. So now this is very sturdy. I haven't shot it yet, but they did do a test firing that was mentioned in their notes. So I will be firing this tomorrow before I start work and see how it goes. I'm pretty sure there's going to be no issues. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because I am very, very grateful for all the what they did with the firearm as well as their hospitality. They are a very nice group of people. They just were, I mean, a lot of times you deal with customer service and they kind of have like this little weird attitude that they give you. But with Daniel Defense, that's all. They just asked me a few questions and they said, just send it in. And I'd say, are you sure? Yeah, I'd say, send it in. That's all they wanted to do. So I just wanted to let people know that customer service is very important uh, for anybody's business or whatnot. I This is only my second time that I called a manufacturer for customer service. I called another company prior. I didn't like their attitude, so I won't be using their firearms again. So that's no, their two firearms are not in my collection. But with Daniel Defense, it was no problem at all. Now, I think one of the main causes of what I should have done is this is a really big lesson that I neglected to do because I normally do this. I normally check my equipment before I go to the range. And I guess because I was in a rush, maybe that's why I did not notice it or whatnot, and then I took it out on the range. So it's very important to check your equipment before you go on the range or prior to shooting on the range. Okay, with that said, that's all I have to say, and I want to thank the guys from Daniel Defense. I really appreciate this. And did I mention there was no cost? Because they have a lifetime warranty on all their firearms. So with that said, happy shooting, stay safe, hashtag 2A.